Section 5.4, it's multiplication of polynomials. Okay, so let's say you want to multiply 3 by 2x. You understand, when you have 3 of this, you have 3 of 2x means is this. Is 6x, correct? So when you multiply 3 by 2x, you always multiply numbers separately. So when you want to take 3 and multiply 2x, you write it as 6x. If I want to take 2a and multiply by 5, a to power of 2. You multiply numbers first. 2 times 5 is 10. Then you multiply the variables. What is a times a2? Look, a times a2. Remember when you have the same base, you write one base and you add the power. So this is a3, correct? A times a2 is a3. So the outcome is 10a3. So you see, you numbers and variables are multiplied by each other. So let's say you have 3x, and I want to multiply that by 8x plus 7. So to multiply that, you have to distribute 3x. You bring the 3x and multiply by 8x first. 3x times 8x, 3 times 8 is 24. And what is x times x? Is x to power of 2, right? So when you distribute 3x into this parentheses and you multiply 3x by 8x, that 3 times 8 is 24, and x times x is x to power of 2. Now I bring the 3x and multiply by 7. Look, I bring the 3x and multiply by 7. Again, 7 times 3, because numbers are always multiplied separately, 21, and there is nothing to multiply by x, so it would be 21x, right? So when you distribute 3x multiplied by 7 is 21x. So 3x times 8x plus 7 is that when you distribute. Minus 4ab times xa2 plus ya4 plus 7. Let's look at this one. One by one. First, I multiply these two. There is no number here. Let's say it's 1. So negative 4 times 1 is negative 4. A times a to power of 2 is a to power of 3. X and b, just write it. bx or xb, doesn't matter. Okay? So when you bring this and multiply by that, it's like this, look. 4abx a2, something like that. You see that? So then this a2 and this a is a3, b and x stay there, and negative 4. That's why we came up with this one here. Now, I'll bring minus 4ab, this time and multiply by ya4. See, I'll show it here to you. Minus 4ab and you want to multiply that by YA4. You just combine these two, right? A times A4 is A5, and B and Y, they remain, so it's -4. So when you distribute minus 4AB and multiply by that, it's -4 A5 B Y. And then when you bring minus 4AB and times 7, just 7 times minus 4 is minus 28AB. That's how you do the distributions. Multiply. Let's look at these problems. -3 times 2, -6. A2, there's no. B2 times B2 is B to power of 4, right? Look, B2 times B2 is B4. Okay. Now minus 3A2B2 times minus 5B. -5 times -3 is positive 15. A2 B3, because B times B2 is 8 B3. And then finally, minus 3A2B2 times 15, just 15 times 3, right? It would be minus 45 A2B2. All right, so now let's say here now we want to multiply this one. I bring the negative 9x and multiply by x3. Just x times x3 is negative 9x4. Minus 9x times minus x. So first you distribute minus 9x. Minus 9x times minus x is positive 9x2. And then minus or negative 9x times 9 is negative 81x. Now I bring 7 and multiply it by each. See? First you distribute negative 9x and then 7. So since you have two parentheses, one of them has 2 terms, the other one has 3 terms, we normally start with the one that has less terms and do the distribution. Okay, what is 7 times x3? Just 7x3. 7 times minus x, minus 7x, and positive 7, positive 9 is 36. Okay, and then you look for like terms. There is no like term for that. We write them in order too, from highest power of x to the lowest. So the only, okay, 9x2, I don't have any other. See how I wrote it, x4, x3, x2. You draw a line, you cross a line, so you won't repeat it again. The only like terms are these two. Minus 7x and minus 81x, which is 88x and then positive 36. I think this should be 7 times 9 is 63. I'm sorry, this should be 63. Okay, now it's better. So 4x to power of 3 times 4x to power of 2. See, when I multiply in my head, that's how it works. Look, 4x3, 4x2. See, 4 times 4 is 16. And what is x3 times x2? Look, x3 times x2. See that? X3 times x2 is x to power of 5, right? So it would be 16x5. That's how we do it in our head. Now, 4x3 times 6x. 6 times 4 is 24. X times x3 is x to power of 4. Then 4x3 times 7 is just 7 multiplied by 4 because there is no variable here. So it would be 28x3. Now I bring the 2 and multiply by each. All it does is just change the numbers. So this 2 is 4. 4 is 8, 8x2, 12x, and 14. Okay, now we look for log terms. I don't see any log terms here. So it's just 16x5 plus 24x4 plus 28x3 plus 8x2 plus 12x plus 14. See, everything right in order. Like if I happen to ask you to find degree of this, what is the degree of this polynomial? The highest degree is 5, so degree is 5. How many terms? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 terms. There are several several methods out there to do the calculation. You always find a method that is easier for you to understand. As long as you come up with a solution, it doesn't matter what method you use. So you may learn a different. So let's say I want to multiply this r plus 6 and r minus 4. FOIL method is a different method. It just, they're saying that first time first, R term is this two, inner, I is inner, and the last, okay? But the way I do it is I just go ahead and find it the same way. Take the R and multiply by each first. So R times R is R2 minus 4R, and then I start with 6. 6 times R is 6R minus 24. And the only like terms is always in the middle. So, so again, the FOIL method, if you want to use that method, is the first of this parenthesis times first of that parenthesis, R times R. L is the last number times the last numbers, which is last number of this parenthesis is -4, last number of this is 6. 6 times -4 is minus 24. Then O means those who are outside these two, 4 and R. Those are outer numbers for R. Inner number are these two. I want to multiply 5x minus 9 times x plus 5. Again, if you want to use the FOIL, first number of this parenthesis is x, first of this is this. FOIL means F, first and first. And then those numbers that are outside are these two. So it's 25x. That's for first and first. Outside numbers, 5 times. Inside numbers, these two, minus 9 times x. And then last, what's the last number here? 5, what's the last number here? Is minus 45. Or you could just say from the beginning, 5x times x is 5x2, 5x times that is 25x, minus 9 times x, minus 9 times. Same way. As I said, when both have the same terms, if there are two terms here, the two terms there, then you should always have just the middle terms are like terms. In a case like this one, the only difference between these two is this is sum of two numbers, this is difference of two numbers. So when you do the distributions, these two always cancel. So what you have is 4a2 minus 9. This is in case you have sum of two items and difference of two items. And in fact, we have a formula in algebra for it, which is a minus b times a plus b is always a2 minus b2. Sum and difference of two terms. And the reason is this: if you distribute this and that, these two cancel, so you end up having that formula. Sometimes we ask you to multiply something like this. X plus 4 quantity squared. There is a formula for this, but which if you have a plus b to power of 2 is a2 plus 2ab plus b2 But rather than worry about the formula, all it means is this, means take x plus 4 and multiply by itself, right? That's what x plus 4 to power of 2 means. So in that case, when you do the distributions, then the middle term do not cancel, they add. Look, let's look at this one. 7x minus 5 quantity square, right? So you take it and multiply by itself. How do I multiply something like this? When there are 3 parentheses. What you could do is you could take these two first and combine, okay? Now what you have is 2 parentheses, and they both have 2 terms in it. Then we do that. So 9x2 times that is 27x2y plus 63x3 minus 3y minus 7x. And there is no like terms here. So again, when there are 2 parentheses, we always start with the one that has less terms. See, there are 2 terms here, 3 terms here. So, and it doesn't matter whether the parentheses are on this side or on that side. See, we start with this. If we do it like that first, right? And then we do this. So first we distribute 4a. So 4a times 4a2, 4a times 4a2 is 16, a3. Then 4a times minus 2a is minus. Now I have Okay, so so we continue with that. So I just multiply those two. So it would be 16A3 plus 4A2 minus 8A2 Okay, there was a phone call now. Okay, so let's start here. 16A2 minus 8A2 plus 16A, and then bring the 1, so it would be 4A2 minus 2A plus 4. So let's see, 16A3 minus 8A2 plus 16A, and then the other one is just 4A2 minus 2A plus 4. So in that case, I have just 16A3 plus 4A2 and minus A2. Let's just write this next to each other so we could, and 6A and minus 2A. I'll put the like term, so this would be it would be like that, okay?